So in our creator's latest update, we got a new area called the Controlled Access Zone, and there is indeed 2 rooms to get into in here. Now I have done a video on how to get into the locked puzzle room, which all you need is 4 players to press the same button at the same time. But there actually is a key room there called Dam Control Access Zone Key. And this key has been super hard for me to find, but I have found 2 of them. And we are going to go in and test it out and see what it's like on a normal raid. And we're also going to check out our Hurricane Raid. Now, I think we're going to do a Hurricane Raid first, as there is one loading up here in 5 minutes. So we're going to hop into the Hurricane Raid and see what the loot is like in this new locked room. Alright, Hurricane Raid is here. We're about to load in. We have our key shoved into our safe pocket. Alright, let's see where we spawned here. Are we far from it? Okay, we're not actually too bad. Let's make a sprint for it and see if we can get there before anyone else. I really doubt anyone else is going to open it up, considering how rare it is to find the key. Unfortunately, I am running into the wind for this one, so we're going to be a bit slow on getting over there. If anybody knows a good spot to farm up this key or where you found it, please do let me know. I'm pretty sure I got 2 of mine in the research and admin building. I'm like 90% sure I got 2 of them in there. Nonetheless, we're going to sprint on over and see what type of loot this new locked room holds. The Dam Controlled Access Zone Key. I am indeed going to do 2 runs. 2 runs is all I can do because I only have 2 keys. So I think doing it on the new Hurricane event and also testing it out on the normal day raid is the best way to do it, to be honest. Let's see what type of loot we get out. I don't even know what type of loot is in this room. I don't even know what the layout of the room is because I haven't actually seen anybody else go in there. I've been trying to search videos up to see if anyone else has looted it, and I actually can't find any. This is my first experience of going in here. Alright, we have made our way to the very bottom of this area. I'm really hoping that we don't have to unlock the other area to get in here, but I highly doubt it. That wouldn't really make much sense now, to be honest. Make our way up here these stairs, and then we can go in and see what's going on. Get a stim into us so we can move a little bit quicker. So we're only gonna take loot out of the locked room for now. See what type of loot we actually get. Okay, here we go. Let's deal with the arc first. Should probably put my shield back on about now. Yeah, that should do. Let's see which room this one is. I still think that this puzzle is very stupid, that you need 4 people to unlock it. I think that's a little bit of a joke. Deal with this last arc here, and then we can make our way inside the Dam Controlled Access Zone. Let's get her open and see what it's like. Close it here as well. Okay, a good few containers here to start off with. Oh, only to get ammo on that. How disappointing. Ooh. Yeah, that makes up for it. That makes up for it. I think doing this on a night raid might have been the play, but nonetheless, good to test out the old Hurricane event. Okay, that's 3 weapons there. 1, 2, 3 weapons. Not bad. We started off at around 36,000 worth of loot. Okay, we do indeed have a security breach spawn in here. Interesting enough. Let's see what we get in here. Wolf pack, double wolf pack. Nice. Another weapon, maybe? Yeah, Venator 2. Nice. That's actually some good loot considering how small this room is. Okay, the room is actually pretty tiny, to be honest. That's a little bit disappointing. Is that everything? I think that's everything. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger, but you know what? It wasn't actually too bad. I got some pretty good loot out of it. We got like, what, 60,000 worth of loot from this room alone. Isn't too bad, to be honest. Now, what you could also do here as well, you could just go upstairs and loot all the rest of it. There's a couple of containers you can loot up there, like you can loot this breachable one, and then the loot actually isn't that bad. But I really think to make this area anyway useful for us solo players, they need to make this puzzle room over there a little bit easier to get into. The fact that we have to press all the buttons is a little bit of a joke now, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go straight upstairs here because there's some actually proper containers up here. So that is indeed all the loot we've gotten from this room alone. I think it's actually pretty decent, you know. That was actually pretty good. We got a Tempest 2 out of that. I definitely expected there to be a little bit more, but not bad. Not bad at all, no. As I was saying, you can include all these containers into your run as well if you do have a key to come here. It makes it that little bit better. Alright, we're sitting at 101k worth of loot. We have looted up some of these other little few bits that are lying around, as there is a couple of more containers in this area. Breach open this container and then we're going to make our way downstairs, see what type of loot is down there. Okay, 105k worth of loot we're sitting at now. Honestly, if I could get into that other room without needing 3 other players, I think this actually would be a pretty good area now, I'm not going to lie. Couple of more red containers here that we can loot up. A backpack in the corner. See what type of loot we pull out here. Grab the mullen, it's more useful for me than the batteries at the moment. Okay. Alright, so 109k worth of loot. You know what? Not the worst. I've definitely pulled out less from other areas. That's not including our loadout, Tom. Alright, that's this place pretty much looted up. Not too bad. We are going to head over to the extraction and then we're going to test it out on the day raid and see what it's like on the day raid. Alright, I have made my way over here towards an extraction. Let's extract out and see how much we made all together. On this run, we had a loadout worth 38k to start off with, and by the time we left the room, we had 95k. I was bringing out a total of 57,000 from that room alone, and now we did make an extra little bit from looting up that area. Not too bad now, to be honest. We got some pretty decent loot. Alright, what type of spawn did we get? Oh, this actually isn't too bad. Spawned out in the Red Lake, so all we gotta do is sprint right over here, and then we can get in nice and handy. So after that last run, I actually think this is a pretty decent key room now, I'm not gonna lie. I wonder what it's gonna be like on the day. I wish I had more keys for this room to like fully test it out on each raid. I would like to do like 5 raids on a night raid, 5 raids on a normal raid, and 5 raids on another event raid, just to fully test it out to see what type of loot we'll be bringing out. But I only have 2. I've been searching since this room got added into the game. I have been searching for this key and I only have found it twice. So let's get a few stims into us, sprint up to this room and see what type of loot we're going to be bringing out on a normal day raid. Make our way in. Okay, we're going to go straight into the key room this time. Let's see what type of loot is in there compared to the other raid we just done. Let's deal with the arc here first. We can make our way in. I think a lot of people were disappointed in this area. I'd say I was as well a little bit. The only reason why I was disappointed in this area is because of the god-awful puzzle that we got to get in here. Alright, a couple of more containers this time. Let's see what we get. Is it going to be any better? 11 light ammo in one of them is not worth it. Key room. Shouldn't be a thing. Like, why am I pulling out another 11 light ammo there? It's pretty brutal. That was pretty brutal. know what the good thing is though? We got a security breach 2 times in a row. That's pretty good. Security breach back to back. Yeah, we're sitting at 65,000 worth of loot. That is very, very poor now, not gonna lie. Honestly, don't think it's worth coming here during the normal raid. I really don't think so. Let's open up the security breach and see anyway. Look the loot we get out of it. I think that is a known thing though in the game, because I've noticed that a lot. That security breaches definitely do seem to be more common in key rooms. Alright, this is the full room looted up. 79k worth of loot. Definitely not as good as doing it on the Hurricane raid. As you can clearly tell by the loot we've gotten, not the best to be honest. But we did get security breach twice, which is a good sign. These containers here were pretty brutal. 2 stacks of light ammo with 11 in it, and then I think we got a stack of 10 heavy ammo, which is pretty brutal for a key room. Nonetheless, we're going to loot up the rest of this area and see what type of loot we get out. Alright, we've made our way back up to the top. Seems to be looted by another player, unfortunately. Is everything looted? Okay, missed this little drawer here. Let's see what's in here. Alright, I'm going to do a little run of this building and see what type of loot we can pull out. There's a couple of players PvP down there. I don't think we can even loot up the full area, but nonetheless, I don't think we're going to pull out much better loot than what we have. We've 81k worth of loot. We might get an extra like 5 to 10k. I'm going to go extract her anyway. That is the new loot room in the control access zone. Would I recommend hunting for the key? It all depends if you're going to be doing the... it really does all depend on if you're going to be opening the door on a specific type of raid. I wouldn't recommend wasting the key on a day raid. As you've seen, the loot was pretty terrible there. I would definitely save the key for some sort of event raid like the Cold Snap, Electromagnetic Storm, Night Raid, or even the Hurricane one that I done it on. It is a pretty decent room. Now the room is small enough as you've seen, but it's not the worst key room in the game. It is decent enough. It could be a pretty good room to add into your little loot runs. And if you get to loot up that whole area, control access zone by yourself, it's actually pretty decent. I know it's a nightmare to get into the puzzle room by yourself. I'm really hoping the devs change it. If the devs do change it, it definitely would be a key well worth going to, because then you could do the puzzle room, open that room as well with the key, and then loot the rest of that area. I think you would easily pull out 150 to 160k worth of loot if the puzzle room didn't need 4 players and you could do it as a solo. But that is the new room in Ark Raiders. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of content. I'm going to go back and count up my earnings. Not that we've made too much anyway in that one. Definitely a little bit less than the last run. But yeah, that's my advice. Save the key for an event raid if you do indeed have the key. And you will pull out better loot. 47k worth of loot on that one. That's all for now, guys. Stay safe out there, and I shall talk to you in the next one.